Welcome back. Good morning. It is Tuesday, December 27th. What a great day to be alive and in Tennessee.
Amen, brother.
Actually, that's the line of my next guest.
That's my line, man.
It is your line.
It's good to be alive and be in Tennessee.
It is C. Mark Warren
good to
from
be here.
Warren and Griffin. Good to have you here, my friend. Hope you had a Merry Christmas.
I did, and hope you did as well.
Absolutely. It was phenomenal.
It's a cold
Absolutely
one. It's a cold
phenomenal.
One.
No doubt about that. New rules on car wrecks. This came out, a couple of weeks ago, and these are not all we're going to be talking about. There are actually some new laws that will be in place come the first of the year.
Sure.
Want to talk about these new rules, who should or should not call the police in the event of a wreck. Let's start with who should not call the police, where you take matters into your own hands, so to speak.
I wish I could answer that question, but the rules are kind of in flux right now. We don't really know. I know that this is an accident report that I have in my hand, that 13,000 wrecks last year police were called to an accident report. And this is an example of an accident that the police will not be called at. A police will not be called if the cars can be driven away and there's no injuries complained of at the scene. Okay, so the cars can be driven away and there's no injuries at the scene. There will not be one of these generated. 13,000. Now this is important because the following day, someone is wanting to get their car fixed because someone caused a wreck.
Right.
And they don't want to use their insurance because they didn't cause the wreck. They don't want to pay their deductible because they didn't cause the wreck. They don't want to pay a rental car because they didn't cause the wreck. They don't want to pay for their car to be repaired or use their insurance because they didn't cause the wreck. This document right here tells me, number one, who caused the wreck. The police officer investigated the accident and found that the negligent driver failed to yield right away. Okay? If I didn't have this, there would be a dispute about who caused the wreck, which would result in a lawsuit being filed, which would result in me being hired, the insurance company hiring their lawyer, and a judge and jury deciding who caused the wreck. Instead of the police officer at the accident scene making that determination, it's going to be a judge or a jury, because this is a classic example about what's going to happen. This is a failure to yield case. It's kind of a he said, she said. You ran the red light. No, you ran the red light. No, you entered my lane. No, you entered my lane. No, you had the stop sign. You know, so you have that debate right there, and a police officer is not going to be around to interview witnesses, look at the property damage, and that's going to end up in court. You know why? Because, you know, you don't want to use your insurance to pay for someone else's negligence.
Right. And I think we've all seen officers at the side of the road where, and let's face it, everybody's a rubbernecker. Everybody in the world. You see two cars that have no obvious damage whatsoever. But the parties involved want to call the police just so they'll have it documented for their records or for the insurance companies, which you can see to maybe a slight degree. But as you have talked to us about over the years numerous times, you need to have some paperwork in hand, just in case.
This document tells you who hit you.
Right.
I mean, it's now up to us to go to the other driver and look at their driver's license to take down that information. It'd be easy just to take a picture with your phone of the driver's license, but no one is going to allow that. Now, we also have to determine if they have insurance. We have to determine whether or not their insurance is valid or not. You know, this new law is going to punish good drivers with insurance, not bad drivers without insurance. As a matter of fact, this right here, the officer gave a ticket. This would be an accident that the police would not go to. No property damage, no personal injuries, and they got a ticket for it. This actually rewards bad drivers. So a bad driver, they got a ticket for failure to yield right away, gets off scot-free because there's no property damage where the car's got to be towed away.
So what happens? What's that next step involved? Because let's say you and I are involved in a minor collision.
I'll tell you the next step for me, if it was me involved, I'd call up State Farm and say, hey, I had a car accident. It was not my fault. No, I don't know what insurance company is. Okay, I've got to use mine. Okay, I've got to pay my deductible. Okay, I've got to pay for a rental car because I don't know the insurance. The police officer determines the insurance coverage for the negligent driver.
As I understand it, you and I, if we're involved in a quote-unquote minor collision, we don't have the right to ask the other person for their insurance. If they want to give it, that's one thing. But you're not going to argue with a police officer when they say, give me your insurance.
Spot on, Chip. Spot on. I mean, why am I going to give my insurance information to the negligent driver?
To a total stranger on top of that.
Exactly. I'm not going to give you my background information. You caused the accident. I'm not going to give you my insurance company. You caused the accident. Give me your insurance. I'm not going to give you my insurance because it was your fault. So this is going to actually end up where now if someone drives off, they leave the scene of an accident, that's a misdemeanor where law enforcement gets more involved in a car accident. This is a bad idea.
Plus,
this is a very, very bad idea.
Plus, it seems like this could, I'm not saying it will, but it could lead to a physical confrontation or altercation between the two drivers.
Road rage is still a thing. Road rage is still a thing.
Sure.
But I tell you what it's going to lead to for sure. There's an article in the paper yesterday where the insurance adjuster said it's going to lead to higher insurance premiums. You know why? Because now things are going to be taken care of in the courts with lawyers instead of on the side of the car, side of the accident, where a police officer can investigate.
Yeah, there does seem to be a whole lot of room for error in this. We'll see how it plays out. Hopefully, you'll be back here in a few weeks and we'll be able to tell what happened from this day
sure to give you an update.
forward. So, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Go Big Arch.
Go Big Arch. And happy birthday to the other
John
guy
Mark.
who's not here.
Happy birthday,
John
Mark
Griffin. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Gotta run. See you back here at noon.